After nearly a decade on Windows, I've decided to switch to Mac, and that's not because I'm trying something new. I switched because after filming only 2 YouTube videos, I realized something. It wasn't performance holding me back, it was friction. And that is much harder to ignore. So Windows laptops are really powerful. They have basically an unbeatable gaming experience. They often come with their own dedicated graphics cards, not the integrated ones you often find on a Mac. You can scale Windows machines as well, at almost a fraction of the cost if you were to scale a Mac. You can add RAM, you can add memory, and a whole bunch of other stuff as well, especially if you're building your own desktop PC. They're just really flexible overall. You can basically do anything and everything with them. There are no limits. And I found that to be really true. Just connecting my Android phone to my Mac lately to transfer some files was a really big deal. And what I really love about Windows is the endless choice. There are so many companies that make laptops and computers, all the different peripherals as well, whereas on a Mac you are more compressed to Apple products. And on paper, just because you assume they can do everything, you think the experience will be really smooth. But power and smoothness aren't the same thing. Now, friction doesn't show up immediately, it shows up in small moments. I found, particularly in file transfer, it has become a real nuisance, kicking up the fans and taking much longer than I expect it to. And I'm not sure why, but when you close the lid on a Windows laptop, it doesn't just go into sleep mode, it goes into a deep slumber, and you almost feel rude waking it up. Another thing that really frustrates me is just the fan noise. It is often really loud for no apparent reason. Battery anxiety. Battery anxiety is a really big deal for me because firstly, Windows laptops don't perform that well on battery, and secondly, when they are on battery, they often don't last that long. My laptop, although admittedly it was a bit of an older gaming laptop, would last around 2 hours at the maximum. And I will say, general performance does feel sluggish. Trying to do a basic 4K video edit on my computer was kind of like dragging an old man into a field and whipping him until he plowed the field. And the worst part is, he's not even old, he's jacked. He just keeps stopping every 10 minutes to think about what he's doing. None of it is broken, and that's key. It's just tiring, it's just friction. Now, I was casually using my laptop before, and I was kind of okay with it. There was a little bit of lag here and there and a little bit of fan noise, and it wasn't the quickest, but it was generally alright for what I needed to do. Creating content really exposed its weak points, especially large video files, constantly previewing footage, and even a small edit. Suddenly, all the small delays really started to matter and, crucially, pile up. The frustration wasn't the constant crashes, it was the expectation. I want this just to work without kicking up the fans and taking forever. I want this to work without having to upload and install a new driver. I want to be able to instantly reference and look at my 4K footage without having to wait 10 minutes and look at the rainbow wheel of death. I just reached a point where I didn't want to troubleshoot, I wanted to create. And that's when my tolerance dropped. Now, this isn't about Windows being bad, because it's not. It's about what I need right now. Windows still wins in flexibility, gaming, and choice of manufacturers. But my priorities changed. I no longer really game on my PC now anyway. I much prefer to play on my console, and there aren't that many games that you can't play on a console nowadays. I normally use my PC for productivity and now editing. And I wanted to be flexible about where I am able to be productive. And I can't really do that with a Windows machine now. It just doesn't last long enough on battery and is not ultra portable for me. Now, the Mac didn't enter because of its specs, but it does have some really hot specs. It is amazingly quiet. The dual fans on my MacBook Pro won't really kick up unless they absolutely have to. Whereas on my Windows laptop, they would kick up almost immediately as soon as I booted up Chrome and one other tab. Predictability. I just wanted to work everywhere seamlessly. I'm now able to work in the park if I need to, or grab a coffee down the road and work in the cafe for a little bit. I can quite easily multitask, look at 4K footage and preview it. If I need to, I can even make a quick edit on the go. And the battery confidence, this is huge. I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. I don't need to worry at all basically. The Mac will last all day, no questions, and from a full charge, it will last more like 2 days. And let's not forget the sweet processing power of those M5 chips. But the real reason I'm switching to reduce mental load, not gain performance. When friction disappears, you just focus much better, and you don't need to worry about all the things in the background. That's the real upgrade here. You're able to focus better. Now, why does this matter to normal buyers? Most people don't need more power, they need less interruptions. For most people, the M series chip is going to be absolutely overkill. It does everything I need and more without breaking a sweat. But I like to know that I have the power there if I absolutely need it. There is less friction and much more trust. I can trust that I can take my laptop out and work all day and it will be absolutely fine with no battery anxiety at all. I know that I can 4K video edit out in the park if I absolutely need to. Or I can take it on a plane and work for the entire journey if I need to as well. And that's especially useful if you create on the side. But in the end of the day, switching isn't the hard part. It's about living with your decision, because buying a Mac doesn't make everything magically better. And some of the things you expect to change don't. In the next video, I want to talk about what changed after about a month of use on my MacBook Pro. What mattered way more than I expected, and what didn't matter at all. And why the Pro label isn't actually the safe choice most people think it is. If you're on Windows and thinking about switching, or you're stuck between the Air and the Pro, that's the video I wish I would have watched first.